Say it'll scare you out or it'll wear you out. Sometimes both. The name of the game is to just be in it. Just stay alive. So Bitcoin in the last 24 hours is down 3.3%. Ethereum is down 10%. Ripple is down 10%. Solana is down 14%. Are we surprised on this show? No, not at all. All of these things are meme coins. I don't know why the market is so distressed. I think this is a cleanse, a cleaning of those that aren't deserving to be here, potentially.
In today's video, we're diving deep into the latest insights from Jack Mallers, one of the most outspoken voices in Bitcoin. With recent market turbulence leaving many investors feeling uneasy, Mallers offers clarity amidst the chaos. He breaks down why short-term volatility is to be expected, but confidently points to a bullish long-term future driven by macroeconomic shifts and unprecedented monetary policy. From the implications of Trump's inflationary strategies to why meme coins are collapsing under pressure, Mallers explains why Bitcoin remains the ultimate asset in uncertain times. Make sure you watch until the end. Jack Mallers shares critical insights into MicroStrategy's puzzling stock performance and why financial giants like Ken Griffin are finally jumping into Bitcoin. If you're looking for clear-headed guidance to navigate this market, you've come to the right place. And if you find value in this content, don't forget to subscribe for more insightful updates.
I think in the short term, I expect volatility. In the medium to long term, I expect bullish. In the short term, I expect volatility. I would not be surprised if we dipped. I think Trump and this new administration has some things to work out with the Fed. We've seen some weak economic data, some concerns. The reverse repo market has been draining. The question is, where is the liquidity coming from? How is the dollar going to weaken? Trump is inflationary. If you're going to reshore and rebuild America here in the country, it's going to take a lot of money that we don't have to do it. So it's inflationary. You're going to have to print money. How and when is what everyone wants to know. Until the market gets that certainty, it will not pick a direction. It might sell off. So when I look at a $92,000 Bitcoin, guys, since November, we've been in the same range. Post-election, we've been in the $90,000 to $110,000 range. I could have taken a nap. As soon as everyone found out Trump got elected, I could have taken a nap, woke up, and nothing will have changed. That's the crazy thing about this market is I say, it'll scare you out or it'll wear you out. Sometimes both. The name of the game is to just be in it. Just stay alive. Just stay humble and just stack sats. Just live your life profitably. So I know this is repetitive. It might get boring, but I would regret not taking every opportunity to reiterate some of the most important messages as a Bitcoiner. You stay humble. You stack sats. Ignore volatility. Expect volatility. Don't get scared out. Don't get worn out. Okay. If you've been a listener of this show, listen, I'm never the guy that's going to tell you I told you so. Couldn't be me. But I kind of told you so. So that's the market insight I have. I mean, other than that, guys, when I look at, so Bitcoin in the last 24 hours is down 3.3%. Ethereum is down 10%. Ripple is down 10%. Solana is down 14%. Are we surprised on this show? No, not at all. All of these things are meme coins. There's no long-term value accrual to these things. They are not money. They are failed technologies at best. They are arbitrages on the trend. Okay. Bitcoin goes down. These things are going to go down even more. These things are getting absolutely demolished against Bitcoin. And it kind of goes to show which project is legitimate and which isn't. It doesn't impress me when everything's inflating against the dollar that you're inflating as well. What impresses me is relative strength against Bitcoin. Is there anything in the world you'd rather own than Bitcoin? And here's another example that answer is a resounding no. No. Not even no. Not even close. Like, wouldn't fathom owning any of these pieces of shit ever. So I don't know. I mean, I see a lot of distress on the internet. I see a lot of people in panic. I feel great. I live my life profitably. I run a profitable business. I stack sats every day. I try and remain humble, and I expect the volatility. I expect to scare you out, wear you out. So it's a good day to be stacking sats. It's a good day to be stacking. I'm going to go to bed richer in Bitcoin terms than I was when I woke up. That's a good day. So I always find this funny as well, in that, I don't know why the market is so distressed. I think this is a cleanse, a cleaning of those that aren't deserving to be here, potentially. I thought it was kind of interesting, a subtle point that Saylor could have bought $2 billion of Bitcoin and the market didn't appreciate it. To me, it tells me a few things. One, the market doesn't understand these businesses, this idea of building towards a Bitcoin standard versus a fiat standard. The public markets don't know how to price it, don't know how to price multiples, don't understand how to value its growth and where to find the growth. Just totally, like, nobody knows. Not saying it's anyone's fault, but the efforts to communicate this to the world have not worked. That's it. That's, spade to spade. That's number one. Number two is that MicroStrategy seems to be trading much more correlated to Bitcoin than it is to its growth and acquiring of Bitcoin. And, Saylor talks about they're a refinery, they're a Bitcoin refinery. They refine, the Bitcoin energy and volatility and stuff. And so I found that interesting as well, because that goes against the notion of this premium. And so MicroStrategy, I think, is down 50% this year. So its stock has been cut in half, something like that. And Bitcoin's only down 15%. And so it goes to show, again, there are pros and cons to holding Bitcoin and holding MSTR. I don't think the world fully understands MSTR and all these other companies that are doing this thing. They don't know how to price it. They don't understand where to find the growth and how to value the growth, how to put a multiple on the growth. And then also, I think it's how do I say, in a politically correct way? Listen, it's interesting, Saylor added $2 billion of Bitcoin to his balance sheet, and what he calls BTC yield was less than 7%. And so if this stock is going to, perform down 50% when Bitcoin's down 15, how much BTC yield do you need to justify that level of performance? Interesting. I just found it interesting. No one's right or wrong. I think that there's just a lot to gather from how the market is treating MicroStrategy, how it's pricing its premium. I think it's interesting. That's where I will leave it for now. The other thing that I thought was really cool today was Ken Griffin and Citadel. Ken Griffin and Citadel came out and said they want to get in the crypto game. They want to make markets. They want to be part of the liquidity profile. They want to launch crypto businesses. People were asking me about this. I don't know what opinion the world wants. Duh. My dad once said, Bitcoin is like universal acid. It seeps through the cracks, and whatever it touches, it finds a way to conquer. And so what I think is interesting is, no duh, Bitcoin is going to find a way into the US government, into Wall Street, into the biggest proprietary trading firms, hedge funds, high frequency traders in the world. Am I surprised Ken Griffin is into Bitcoin? No. Is Ken Griffin surprised he's into Bitcoin? Probably, right? That's what I would have to say about that. This is growing to become one of the most liquid, saleable global markets in the world. That is Bitcoin. markets are really truth-seeking machines, and Bitcoin is the most truthful, accessible free market in the world. It has intrinsic value in that way. On a Sunday night, it's the only way for humans to express themselves with time and energy. That's insanely valuable. Now we're under $2 trillion in market cap, but you're talking about a global market that's around, it's more than a tenth of gold at this point. What's gold's market cap? It's more than a tenth of gold. So it's approaching gold levels, global, saleable, liquid, 24/7 free market. So I don't know, everyone wanted me to talk about Ken Griffin getting into Bitcoin. I'm not surprised by Ken Griffin getting into Bitcoin. I'd bet you Ken Griffin is surprised he's getting into Bitcoin. And that says a lot more about Ken Griffin than it says about Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is an ego test. And I don't know. I've heard that guy has an ego. Never met him though. So don't want to talk shit, but you get Bitcoin at the price you deserve, as they say. As soon as you're willing to put your ego aside and realize that it's not all about you, that's when you understand Bitcoin. And maybe Ken Griffin took that journey recently.